Well, welcome everybody to Why You Need These Drops. We are so excited tonight to have Dr. Joshua Plant with us, and I want to introduce Dr. Plant to you guys. He is our Chief Science Officer at Partner Co., where he leads product development, education, and our quality efforts to innovate our amazing wellness lineup. So he is a Harvard trained scientist with a PhD in biomedical sciences and a
Medical
cancer research
sciences.
fellowship at the National Institutes of Health. He has over 13 years in our amazing industry, and he is a massive innovator in our amazing company. He lives in Arizona with his precious wife and four kids, and I know he loves weightlifting, mountain biking, and science. So, y'all are going to love hearing from Dr. Joshua Plant. So, Dr. Joshua Plant, take it away.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. This is a wonderful opportunity. And you guys are getting a little bit of Dr. Plant Unplugged, right? It's a little bit of a holiday, so beard's a little outgrown. Got the t-shirt on, just came in from doing a little yard work. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for this. So talking before with Michelle, she was like, hey, I'd really like you to talk about the drops and what they do. And so I love this. I kind of enjoy helping people understand a little bit more about how they can kind of take control of their lives and the wonderful products that we have to help do this. And so I'm going to start throwing out a few science terms. So the first thing that I want is I'm giving Michelle executive power to veto, saying, what the heck does that word mean? So whenever what any crazy word comes in, just give me that wonderful accent of yours and say, hold your horses and tell me to explain it. I'll be happy to do so because I am a firm believer. What is important is what is learned, not what is taught. And those are, in many ways, are very two different things. So I want to kind of walk through, to begin with, a little bit of my philosophy of what supplementation is. And supplementation, in a nutshell, I look at as a way of protecting our body against a faster evolving environment than we are, right? So, give you an example. Seasons change. In the winter, summer, spring, and fall, right? Four different seasons. I don't wear the same clothes for each season. I wear a tank top in the summer. I'll wear a jacket in the winter. The seasons evolve faster than I do. And so I supplement with different clothes for the different season. And what we're facing today in the supplementation world is a very unique season. In the world of where we are all under an incredible amount of stress, this is impacting our body tremendously. And so supplementation has had to evolve to help address not necessarily a nutritional from a vitamin standpoint pitfalls, but to help address the pitfalls in safeguarding our body against the cold of the stress, so to speak. And so we need new forms of supplementation in today's world. And we're seeing this. Our youth are struggling more than ever with respect to mental health. Adults, we are too, are also responding with huge amounts of stress. In fact, they are attributing stress as one of the leading causes of the most uh, emergency-ridden global pandemic today is stress, and what we can do to help safeguard that. And this is why I like the drops. So to do this, I'm going to illustrate a brain right here, right? We're going to use my brain. Got the messy hair because I was out cutting the lawn, so sorry for this. All right. But in this, right here in the front of the brain, is an area called the prefrontal cortex. And this prefrontal cortex is the part of the brain that is responsible for thinking. It's responsible for executive function, decision making, cause and effect. This is what makes humans humans and different from all the other species. So, but deep inside the middle of the brain is something called the amygdala. And the amygdala is actually called the reptilian part of the brain. And it's called the reptilian part of the brain because all species from reptiles on up have it. We all have it in common. And that amygdala that is responsible for what we call often hear as the fight or flight, right? So, you know, Summer's walking around looks like a Walmart right now. If somebody all of a sudden jumped out from behind her and scared her, Summer wouldn't think. she would just jump, right? She would reflexively go away. What happened is that process right there, getting startled, it bypassed the prefrontal cortex and goes straight to the amygdala. And the amygdala is all about reaction, it's instinct. And you just bounce back. And in that scenario, there is no cognitive thinking that is happening. And it's the same reason why when you go try to catch a lizard, the lizard instinctually jumps back. And we all share that process, birds, everything. And so what's happened is in today's world, when we're under stress, that amygdala is heightened, which then puts you into that fight or flight, or now also known as a freeze, fight, flight, or freeze pathway. And what happens is in those situations, uh, we're quick to anger. We find ourselves unable to kind of see the gray in a black and white world. Additionally, you find your cortisol levels are going to be spiking because you're in this stressful situation. You're on edge. And when your cortisol levels are spiking, it's impacting your other hormones. I'll go into that in a little bit. But if you find yourself constantly on edge, that is a sign that your amygdala is more or less overactive. It's not a surprise. We have a phone by our side all the time that's hollering and whistling at us. We get notifications. We go check the mail. We're wondering each and every day if we're going to get audited. If I do my taxes right from 8 years ago. You wake up in the middle of the night and you're thinking, oh my goodness, did I remember to close the fridge? All of these things that are constantly in the back of our mind have an impact on us. And it has a huge impact on our physiology as well. So, in this scenario, in today's world, so much consumerism has hijacked that amygdala because, hey, how great is it if you can get your consumers to not even think, but you're just constantly hitting that amygdala? And so, in that situation, when that amygdala is heightened, here's a good case to determine if your amygdala is heightened. If the phone rings at 9:30 at night, does your heart skip a beat or do you get excited? If your heart skips a beat, you don't know if the phone call is good news or bad news. But if your heart skips a beat, that usually means that you are in a heightened stress situation and you're automatically interpreting the worst case scenario. If you're interpreting it, hey, I have no idea what this is, it could be good news, you're probably fine. But I dare say most people out there in today's world, when that phone rings at 9:30 at night, their head immediately goes to, oh my goodness, what's happened? And so that's a sign that we are in this worst case mindset. And so what happens is when that amygdala is heightened, your body makes what's called the stress hormone, cortisol. And cortisol is, as many of you know, is the stress hormone. And I'm going to do my best to illustrate it. My wife's an artist, so we got some colorful markers here right next to me. Okay, we're going to use purple as cortisol, and we're going to use green as estrogen, and orange as testosterone. So, all three of these hormones, believe it or not, come from the same precursor. It's called, I'm going to just call it prognenolone. It's a really hard name to pronounce. And so all of them originate from the same precursor hormone. So what happens is if I am making a lot of cortisol, cortisol goes up. I only have a limited supply of this. What goes down is estrogen and testosterone. And so this is why individuals who are under a lot of stress have stronger menopause symptoms, right? If my cortisol goes down, the prognenolone can make the either estrogen or testosterone. Now, this may seem kind of novel, but I guarantee you've heard it before. How many people have heard when they've gone to a zoo and they've heard about animals not able to breed in captivity, right? It's actually using the same thing. This precursor, because they're in a stress situation, cortisol goes up, estrogen and or testosterone go down. They are no longer mating, they're not in heat, their sex drive is off, they're going through this. And so what happens is they don't conceive in captivity. Now, the same is true in today's world. We're not necessarily in a physical captivity, but we're in an emotional one. And that cortisol levels are going high, and it's causing estrogen, testosterone to go down. And this is why so many individuals are having such strong menopause symptoms in today's world, why men are having challenges hanging on to muscle mass as they get older. And so it doesn't end there. Now, downstream of that cortisol, it's also going to send in two different hormones. It's going to increase ghrelin, which tells us we're hungry, and it's going to lower our sensitivity to leptin, which tells us when we're full. And we're going to be craving sugars and fats, things that are very high in calories. And the reason is if mentally, if I feel that I am being chased by a wolf and I'm in this high stress situation and I'm bypassing my prefrontal cortex, I'm not making a decision of what is healthy for me. My body is having just incredible cravings to give it the maximum amount of sugar, high calories as possible to outrun the wolf that's potentially chasing me. And it may not be a physical wolf, but my mind doesn't know the difference. And so that situation is what is leading to individuals consuming so much in today's world of high sugar, high fat, high caloric intakes with just an uncontrollable craving. And we talk about this stress eating. Oh, there's a mechanism behind that. Now, in addition to this, is if we've elevated this throughout the day, what happens is our sleep quality goes down at night. And then this is the real kicker. This is where Mother Nature just seemed to really hate us. So now, if we had a high stress situation, our quality of sleep goes down. Guess what happens the next day if you have low sleep? You are that much more sensitive to stress. You're even that much more sensitive to sweet and fatty foods. And so now it just spirals constantly. And so we need to find ways to kind of break that cycle. And this is where the drops come in. So the drops provide us the winter coat in today's season of supplementation. And what it does is it helps our body better respond to stress using what are called adaptogens. Adaptogens are unique botanicals that help our body, quote unquote, adapt to a fast changing environment. So our body doesn't immediately go into stress. And so we take these adaptogens about 20 minutes before each meal, and it helps kind of calm that nervous system. We're now tapping back into that prefrontal cortex, and we're now in a position to where we're making healthy, conscious food decisions. And Cynthia is Cynthia, right? Summer is Summer. Sonia is Sonia. We're no longer the reptilian, using the reptilian part of our brain. We are uniquely us. And so what happens at this is people then, now when they're sitting down and they see that chocolate cake, they're making that logical decision of like, oh, I'm not really that hungry. I don't need it. You still, if you choose to eat it, well, yes, you won't lose weight, right? But what we're doing is we're bypassing, or we're not bypassing, we're utilizing that prefrontal cortex. We're giving ourselves the opportunity we never had before to be more in control of that decision making because we're instinctually us. Now, upstream of that, we're also now in aware where we're balancing our hormones because we're not making an incredible amount of cortisol. Our body is now able to make the estrogen and or testosterone it's needing and the benefits that come with that. And so it's a wonderful opportunity for the reason that I love the drops is it doesn't change who you are. It helps you be who you are. And to me, that's a beautiful thing. Now, some people will say, hey, I don't look like the person on, you know, whatever fashion magazine. I am a firm believer that I want natural ingredients in my product, in my body, and I also want natural goals. And we are all in agreement. We do not want synthetic ingredients, but for whatever reason, we're okay with synthetic goals if healthy. I can tell you right now, one of my favorite things to do is go to a Renaissance museum and you will see just how beautiful and natural we are all supposed to be and different, right? And so in this scenario, I love utilizing natural ingredients and I love having natural goals that allow us to be us and to celebrate what's called that, morphological variances, the change that we are supposed to see across humanity. And I love it. And so the drops to me are a perfect opportunity really to kind of bring us all together. And one of the great benefits is if everyone around the dinner table are taking the drops together and you're all getting out of that fight or flight situation. Remember when we used to laugh at dinner? Those good old days, right?
Yeah.
Man, right? But now all of a sudden you're using that prefrontal cortex and you're not in this like, okay, you're either with me or against me mentality. You're not in that fight or flight situation. And you're laughing and you're enjoying stuff. And that to me is the real beauty of all of this. And so I absolutely love this. And watch MASH. Yes. I love Michelle. Yes, that is so true. My one of my favorite things in all time is the last MASH episode. You probably said this. I think it was like a third of America all dialed in to watch the last MASH episode together. This was before there was on demand. So for 1 hour, one third of all Americans were experiencing the exact same thing at the exact same time. And in today's on-demand world, we aren't. And so use those drops, have that dinner, sit down together, and start having communal experiences again. And this is what is so needed in today's world. And so thanks for letting me come on and talk a little bit about drops. Sorry for the messy hair, out mowing lawn, you know. So
Hey, we like to
happy to
keep it
help.
real. We
Yeah.
love keeping it real. And so, Cynthia, I've got to have you follow up on that because I know you loved that explanation. Thank you so much, Dr. Plant. Cynthia,
Thank you, everybody.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Plant. Can you give it up in the chat for Dr. Plant? Those explanations were absolutely awesome. It makes you, although you own the drops, it really makes you just want to say, you know what? I am really on the drops now. Thank you so much, Dr. Plant.
Thank
This
you
is
so
going to
much.
change so many people's lives. We're going to look at dinner better. And I like this natural goals. Sounds like a t-shirt to me. Natural goals. I like it. So thanks for well, it's not messy hair to me, but thank you, t-shirt and all. It was absolutely awesome. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Thank
So
you, everybody.
guys, bye. So guys, Michelle, let's what's next? Like, man, it's got me so pumped up. Oh, you got to tell Michelle, you got to tell everybody where the recording and all of that's going to be because who wouldn't want to hear this over and over and over again?
absolutely. Well, of course, it's always on my Facebook feed. So it's live on my Facebook feed. And you can download it. You can click the share button and download it right there. And so you're going to want to share this, you guys. I challenge you to share this with all your droppers. Well, first of all, tell me if there are any guests on the call because I wanted to honor his time because y'all saw he came straight from mowing his yard. I wanted to honor his time. So I didn't ask who are our guests on the call. And if you don't have guests on the call, and most of you guys are brand partners, I encourage you to send this video to all of your droppers because wasn't it amazing, Cynthia? I
Yes,
could
it
see
was.
your eyes. I could see Summer. I could see
Yes, I was like,
I could see
yes.
Sonia. Everybody that I could see on my screen, everybody was just like, "Oh my goodness, what a great explanation!" And he just makes it so fun, and he makes it so real. And so I will have this for all of you guys. Everybody that's on IPA, I will send it to Sarah Weaver as well, so she can put it in researchdrops.com. And then also, we need to discuss where everybody sees these flyers for each Monday night because we had a lot of people asking today, and we have it posted on communications channel and then on the IPA messenger thread. So I'll find out tomorrow where all I can put it elsewhere, maybe on Level Up Life or maybe on some other pages where we can make sure that, but I thought everybody saw communication channel, and I may be wrong. But if you aren't on communication channel on Telegram, that is where we put it every week. So I would say anybody that sees our weekly call on communication channel, if you can put it on your page, whether, Level Up Life or what have you, I think I put it on Partner Co Nation earlier last week, but I did not put it on as a reminder. So I need to do that also as well. But any ideas that you guys have for getting this out there, I want more and more people. Cynthia we want more and more people because
Yes.
it's such a great educational call. We have guests every week. And these are for your droppers or to help you, convert your droppers. We want droppers to become brand partners with us so we can get the word out and get these drops in the hands of billions. And so if you are a guest on the call, please get back with who invited you so you can find out how to join us at the best discount. And enrollment is free right now. So we want you to become a wholesale brand partner with us, get the free enrollment, and help us get the word out, get these drops in the hands of billions. Because wouldn't you say, Cynthia? I mean, that is our purpose, our passion, just exactly what he talked about. Such a simplistic
Yes,
explanation of why every single person needs these drops. Of course, you and I believe insulin resistance and high cortisol levels,
yes.
those are the key to a lot of debilitating diseases that can come into your life if you don't correct the insulin resistance and lower the cortisol levels
And
with,
one more thing, Michelle, on
yes,
that, okay, really quick. Did you notice during that explanation, a lot of times when people come and they say, well, will the drops help me with this? Will the drops help me with that? And sometimes your heart get a little like, oh, yes. And then you try to find a testimony. What we just heard tonight is balance. The body can't be balanced in one area and out in another. These drops now, just from that explanation, when he talked about taking the drops, and he talked about the cortisol levels and what lowers estrogen. So those things lower, but all we got to do is focus on one thing is what? That is keeping cortisol down so everything else can come up. So the simplicity of it matches exactly what we say all the time. How good can you really feel? And it also says this is that everybody, we just got proof that everybody needs these drops. And that's like sealed the deal. It was like a mic drop. So it was just so awesome.
yes. And I know there's some questions in the chat. Does it mean we need to stay on the drops always? Well, I tell you what, if you want your hormones balanced and your body balanced, I mean, certainly there are other products that help. But for me, for my situation with having had brain fog, I'm on the drops. I've been on them for 2.5 years. I mean, they are an, like you call it, an adaptogen, a nutritional supplement. I tell people to put them in their grocery budget. So why wouldn't you be on the drops is my question. Is that, don't you take your supplements continually? I mean, you don't start taking supplements and then stop. You've got to get amazing cellular nutrition into your body, and you just can't get it with your food alone. Isn't that right, Cynthia? I mean, if we
And
could
another
get it with our
thing,
food alone, we wouldn't
yeah,
need supplementation.
and it helps you to want the food that we're supposed to have. But
That's
let's
right.
go back to adaptives. Our adaptogens, that is to adapt to what's going on.
Yes.
Now, it adapts right then. So the true question is, what's going on in your life and what do you need as the changes come? Make sure you're sleeping well. Make sure there's no cravings. Make sure your happy gland is happy. That's what I like to call it. And so that kind of answers the question. So we don't want to necessarily look at it as do we have to stay on. We want to look at it as is that how good this is affecting my body and helping me. And even if a person cycle on and off for various reasons, just know that there are other products, as Michelle mentioned, that we can have as our auto ship or our subscription so we can continue to have that good cellular nutrition. And it's kind of like winter, fall, spring. What did I leave out? Winter, fall, spring, summer. Remember what he just said about wearing different coats or a t-shirt for summer and what you wear in spring. I love that because we teach that every 3 to 4 months, your body's saying, hey, let's do something different. Not because out of need. Guess what? The body just really wants to feel good. How good can you really feel? And these products gives us that option so we can truly say, how good can we really feel?
That's awesome, Cynthia. Well, you guys, I'm so thankful. We had over 234 people on this call. So to me, that's an opportunity for you, each and every person that was on this call, to impact more people by sharing this with everybody you know. So I hope this blessed every single person. If, like I said, if you are a dropper with us, utilizing the drops and you have not gotten your next set of drops at the best discount, make sure you're getting back to the person who brought you on this call. And so I just encourage you guys, be on this call every Monday night. It is an opportunity to share the drops with everybody you know. So of course, everybody's doing events and presentations all throughout the week, but you know, you can count on this call every Monday night. We've even done it through the holidays, but if it's Christmas or Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve, we're not going to have the call. But for the most part, for 2 years, Cynthia and I have had this call every Monday night. So blessings to everybody. The amazing Haley Lee will be with us next week. And so come join us for Why You Need These Drops, same time, same place. And we will make sure we get this flyer out in all the locations so you guys can share with everybody you know. Cynthia, thank you so much. Everybody, thank you so
Michelle.
much for being on the call. Love you guys, and we'll